Okay, let's talk about something huge. What if a type 2 diabetes diagnosis wasn't a life sentence? What if it's just a chapter in your story, and you get to write the next one? Well, today we're diving into a really powerful story of hope and, believe it or not, natural recovery.
So, the big question, right? Is it really possible to get a handle on type 2 diabetes, maybe even reverse it, without a lifetime of medication? I mean, that's what we're all wondering. The journey we're about to follow, well, it suggests the answer is a big, resounding yes.
And to see how, we're going to follow the real-life story of a man we'll call Al-Hajj. Now, his story is probably going to sound familiar. He went to the doctor, got the diagnosis, and was basically told, yep, this is your life now, something he'd have to manage forever. But he wasn't having it. He decided to challenge that whole idea.
All right, so to really get where he ended up, we have to know where he started. And it all starts with this number, 6.7%. Now, that's his HbA1c, which is just a fancy way of saying his average blood sugar over a few months. The line in the sand for diabetes is 6.5%. So at 6.7%, he was officially in the club. That was his reality.
So, what was his first step? Well, it wasn't a trip to the pharmacy. It was a trip to his kitchen. He started with 3 powerful natural allies. The source material calls them the 3 natural guardians. I love that.
First up is the Golden Shield, otherwise known as Ceylon cinnamon. And it's called a shield for a reason. It does 2 amazing things. First, it helps your body handle sugar way more efficiently. And second, and this is huge, it actually slows down how fast sugar gets into your system after you eat. And look, this isn't just some old wives' tale. The science is there. A major study showed people taking Ceylon cinnamon dropped their HbA1c by over half a point in just 2 months. And get this, that was without any other meds. That's a massive difference.
So, how can you actually use this? It's surprisingly simple, but step 1 is critical. You have to get Ceylon cinnamon, not the regular cassia stuff you find everywhere. That one can be tough on your liver in large amounts. Once you have the right kind, just mix half a teaspoon into your coffee or tea. Do that twice a day. Seriously, that's it.
Okay, on to guardian number 2, the liver's balm. We're talking about flaxseed. And this one is so important because a fatty liver is one of the main drivers of type 2 diabetes. Think about it. When your liver is all clogged up with fat, it just can't do its job of managing blood sugar. That's what leads to insulin resistance. Flaxseed basically helps your liver clean house and get rid of that extra fat.
And here's a pro tip for you. For the best effect, buy the whole flax seeds and just grind them yourself right before you use them. It makes a huge difference. Then, just take a tablespoon of the ground seeds and mix it into some yogurt or throw it on a salad. Super easy to work into your daily routine.
And our third and final guardian is the green guardian. Okra. Yeah, okra. This stuff is a legit powerhouse. The fibers inside it act like a speed bump for sugar, slowing way down how fast it hits your bloodstream. Plus, it's got compounds that actually make your body's own insulin work better. It's like giving your insulin a personal trainer.
Now, this isn't about loading up on fried okra at dinner. The method here is super specific. You slice up 4 or 5 fresh okra pods, drop them in a cup of water, and just let them sit overnight. First thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, you drink that water. That's where the magic is.
Okay, time for a really important pause. A big warning label here. Before you even think about trying any of this, you have to talk to your doctor, no exceptions. This is especially true if you have any liver or kidney problems, if you're on blood thinners, or if you're taking diabetes meds like glucophage or metformin. These things can interact in serious ways. And of course, avoid all of this if you're pregnant. Seriously, safety first, always.
So Al-Hajj is doing all this stuff, right? The 3 guardians. And he's seeing amazing results. But then, well, life happened. He traveled, his routine got thrown off. And this is where the story takes a twist, because it teaches us a crucial lesson. It's not just about what you add to your diet, it's about what you take away.
So after a few months away from his routine, he gets his HbA1c checked again. The result? 6.9%. Wow. Not only had he lost all his progress, he was actually worse than when he started. It was all gone, a total gut punch.
And that setback revealed the real problem. All the good work from the cinnamon, the flax, the okra, it was being completely canceled out, sabotaged. It turns out the true enemy wasn't just plain old sugar. It was a whole group of foods that the source calls the red list. So here it is, the list of villains. There are 3 main culprits. First, the obvious one, processed starches and sugars. We're talking white bread, pastries, sodas, no surprise there.
But the second one might catch you off guard. Hydrogenated vegetable oils. Things like corn oil, canola oil, sunflower oil. The way these are processed creates a structure that our bodies see as an invader, and it triggers massive inflammation, which just cripples your insulin. And third, processed meats like sausages and luncheon meat, which directly contribute to a fatty liver. You got to think of these foods as the fire, and the high blood sugar is just the smoke. But that setback, that failure, it led Al-Hajj to his final and most powerful weapon. And the source calls this one something really beautiful, the antidote of mercy.
And what is this antidote? Apple cider vinegar. Yeah, ACV. This stuff is an absolute game changer. It attacks the problem from two different angles. First, it literally reduces how much sugar your body absorbs from the food you eat. And second, it actually tells your liver to chill out and produce less sugar on its own. It's a 1-2 punch against high blood sugar.
And the numbers on this are just wild. One study showed that people using ACV the right way saw their HbA1c drop by up to 1.5 points in just 8 weeks. I mean, think about that. That's a huge improvement. For a lot of people, a drop like that is enough to take them from diabetic right back into the normal range.
Okay, but before you run out and grab any old bottle, listen up. Not all apple cider vinegar is the same. You have to get the raw, unfiltered kind. It should look cloudy, and you'll see some weird-looking stuff floating at the bottom. That's called the mother, and that's where all the good stuff, the enzymes, the beneficial bacteria, lives. If you buy the perfectly clear, filtered kind that looks like apple juice, you're just wasting your money. It won't work. And again, we have to talk about safety. This is non-negotiable. ACV is an acid, so you absolutely must dilute it. 1 tablespoon mixed into a full cup of water. And here's another tip. Drink it with a straw. That'll help protect the enamel on your teeth. The best time to take it? Twice a day, right after your lunch and your dinner.
All right, so armed with this new antidote of mercy and a new, fierce commitment to avoiding everything on that red list, Al-Hajj got back to work. So let's see how it all paid off. Let's look at his final victory.
This timeline just lays it all out, plain and simple. He starts at 6.7%. He has that devastating setback, climbing to 6.9%. But then, by putting it all together, the 3 guardians, avoiding the red list, and adding the apple cider vinegar, he brought it all the way down to 5.7%. That officially took him out of the diabetic range and back into pre-diabetic. An incredible victory, all achieved without a single prescription medication.
And this really brings us to the heart of it all, to the core message from the original source. It's this powerful idea that diabetes is not a life sentence, but a moment in our lives when we forgot to love ourselves. Wow, it just reframes the whole thing, doesn't it? It's not about being broken, it's about an opportunity to take back control, to practice self-care. Look, Al-Hajj's journey is proof. It proves that recovery isn't just a fantasy, it's possible. It shows that your health story isn't set in stone. So I'll leave you with this question. If your story can be rewritten, what's the next chapter you're going to write?